Right, salmon fish cakes. I thought I'd show you this time how I get the potato. I don't just boil and mash potatoes. What I do is I bake them or microwave them whole like this, and then cut them into pieces like this to allow them to cool off before I use them. Alright, so I've used two small to medium baking potatoes there, and what I've got here is a can, 213 grams of wild Pacific salmon. You know it's wild because it took them 4 hours to get it into the can. I've also got some English mustard. You can use whatever your favourite mustard is. The best ones to use are either English mustard, German Senf, or French Dijon mustard, but use the more spicy mustard. You need a little bit of kick in it. American mustard really wouldn't, as they say in English, it really wouldn't cut the mustard. American mustard is a little bit, it doesn't have the right flavour profile, so try and get a Dijon mustard or a Senf or an English mustard. And if you can get fresh dill, please do, but if you can't, you'll need about half a teaspoon of dried dill. Fresh dill, you need about a slack handful of that, and finely chopped. So the next thing we need to do is, once these have cooled off, I'll get these into the bowl and we'll start mixing in the salmon. The other thing I've got going, of course, is very similar to my previous fish cake video. I've got some pieces of bread in the oven which are basically just drying out so I can use them for panko breadcrumbs. I'm just finished peeling the skin off these, and it's really easy to do. It comes away like parchment, and you don't need to throw these away because you can deep fry these skins and have them as a nice tasty little snack. Put on your favourite spice mix and you've got yourself a nice little snack. Right, there's no need to stand too much on ceremony with this. So I've got all those into my bowl, and into the bowl goes all my salmon, which all I've simply done is drained it. And into there I want, let me do the dry ingredient first. So into that I want about half a teaspoon of dill, which gives a great aroma and flavour. You can go too heavy on dill, so just start with half a teaspoon first, or about a slack handful of fresh. So into there I want a generous teaspoon of mustard, and then just get in there down and dirty and mix it all together. Now you want to get the salmon mixed in fairly well with the potato, but you don't have to break up the potatoes too much because it adds a nice element of texture to the fish cake. And what you end up with is a delicious smelling mixture like this, which again we form into fish cakes. And I'll show you that process again right now. So I've got my form, and I want to divide this up into equal amounts. So what I do is very similar to the other recipes. I just get that all out, waste not, want not. So what I do is I form it into an even shaped log and then cut it into about 4 pieces. And you'll probably get about 4 equal pieces for that. So I roll it into a ball, drop it into my form, and shape them into nice fish cakes. Like that. Real easy to do, and you can do large amounts of these in a batch, and once you've got them in this fish cake and breaded, you can actually freeze them and then cook them from frozen. so they're really handy. And there you are. I mean, although that wild Pacific salmon isn't cheap, what we're getting out of this is 4 really good size fish cakes, and these are working out really cheap on an individual basis, and one of those is good for a kid, 2 for a man, as part of a nice meal, or just have 1 as a starter, or 2 with a salad for a light lunch. So you know, it's a really versatile thing, and it's not expensive at all. Right, the next thing I need to do is beat myself up an egg and then start frying. Alright, so the next bit is really quite simple. You take your fish cakes very carefully, make sure they get a good coating of egg. You don't need to dip them in flour first, as you'll see. Very carefully into the panko breadcrumbs. Make sure it's nice and well covered, and then into your oil. You don't need to cook them too quickly, so your oil needs to be only on around about 2/3 of your heat, not full heat. And into the, I like to do these 2 at a time in this small pan. In a bigger pan you can probably do about 4. So let them cook fairly slowly until both sides are done perfectly, and then I lift them out and drain them on kitchen paper, and then I'll get on with my next batch before I show you how to make the sauce. Alright, there's a really nice sauce we can make for these, and it's really kind of like a salad dressing. And it's very similar to the Swedish Gravad sauce. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take half a teaspoon of dill, put it in a jam jar. Okay. The next thing I want to put in there is a generous teaspoon of whatever mustard that went into the cakes. I'm going to put a little bit more than that, because this is kind of nice, kind of mustardy. And you want to go up to about the level of your thumb with vinegar, and about the same of water. And one last thing in there, you're going to need some sugar. Into there I want a teaspoon of sugar. If you've got a really sweet tooth, add a bit more. Once you've done that, pop the lid on and give it the good news. Once you've got the taste right, just wipe your finger on the lid and taste it that way. And I just want to add a little oil to this. It's about 2 tablespoons of oil. Back with the lid and give it a good old shake. And then what you got there is a beautiful dipping sauce, which is a kind of Gravad flavoured sauce, which is really excellent for these type of fish cakes. Enjoy. If you have enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you would like to follow my channel, please subscribe, and be sure to click the bell icon to receive notification of all my upcoming videos. Thanks for watching.